Well, a bit of unfamiliar territory to start things off for Trinity, a Chicago team that's outside of the region. The bulk of their games so far this year have come against opponents in Region 10, a couple of squads out of the ASC and Hardin-Simmons and Mary Arden Baylor. Just a different style of play that they're going to see in a very good University of Chicago team. You mentioned coming in with a very impressive record, a high caliber team, and a good start on the defensive end right there.
Work cut out for them here as they take on a pretty well-rounded threat against the Chicago Maroons, as this one is lifted up and in for the first points of this game. That one good by Tanner Brown.
Some nice passing their first couple of possessions, just haven't gotten a shot to drop. Braxton Berry continuing some very stout defense. Coming over.
A very loud student section down there near the court as that shot goes up, banks off the rim and in, and Trinity taking a quick 4-0 lead during this Leslie Robinson Holiday Classic throughout the years. The shot clock is down to 2 and now 1. Shot is up and banks it in. Luke Smith able to get that one just before the buzzer as this shot goes up, does not fall. Christian Green on the putback and put back in.
You mentioned Christian Green doing a nice job of cleaning things up, continuing the scoring with another basket in transition right there. Jacob, give him a look at the program, and anytime you get a full group of high school boys, things can get pretty rowdy. They're up on their feet already for this Trinity squad, and they're giving them a lot to cheer about as Tanner Brown with another nice reverse layup.
Played 10 games each. Trinity 10-0 so far on the year, while Chicago 8-2, as that is a nice little shot banked in there for Jacob Harvey, half down low. Chicago continuing to fight down, or shot from the top of the key, does not fall. Rebound Braxton Berry throws it back in and keeps it Trinity ball. Shot is up from outside and it falls. A huge shot, Jacob Millhouse with the shot from 3. Just continuing to pour it on here. Still no substitutions this early on in the game as Millhouse is going to go up, he's going to put it in, and he's going to go to the charity stripe for an and one.
Screen, a huge contributor on this end of the court. The 6'6" freshman makes that closeout right there, but it does not matter. Thomas Kurowski rising up and knocking that one down to get.
Barry outside thought about the shot. Now going to hand it off to Brown. Brown back to Barry. Barry puts it up and puts it in for 2. 5-19 your score here. Tigers leading very handily over the Chicago Maroons with the ball, passes it around. Hopkins back with it, puts it up, and it falls. Bryce Hopkins, number 33, the graduate student. Green lost the ball there on the push as this shot is up from the corner. It is up and it is good. Thomas Kurowski doing a lot for the Maroons so far this evening. As Balo is going to drive it down, trying to get past a stiff defense, puts it up and puts it in. Philip Lawrence was the one there in defense, but it does not matter as the freshman Dean Balo showing off why he has been so special so far this year.
It was almost a full line change for this Trinity squad, but despite that intensity not changing, the shot making not going anywhere. Dean Balo rising up from a couple feet behind the arc.
Has now been taken off as Fenn goes up, cannot get it to fall. Rebound by Trinity, puts it up and puts it in. A fantastic physical play there by Grant Jacobs, the junior forward out of New Braunfels. Williams moving around. He's going to try and put it up himself. It does not fall. Fight for the rebound there. It was in the hands of Chicago, but it ends up back in the hands of Grant Jacobs to Williams. Williams back over to Balo. Balo, Abdullah Roberts. Roberts from 3. He nails it.
A smile on his face as he looked to the bench. Struggled from 3 in the early going this year. Finally getting one to fall, but very quickly Chicago answering. Joe Barry knocking down a 3 of his own.
Scramble for the rebound. It's Balo. Balo and Roberts on the 2-on-1. Puts it up and puts it in for an extra 2. Chicago, a second chance opportunity, no good, and rebounded by Trinity. Shot is up from 3, and it is good. Tanner Brown with a huge 3 to continue to extend this lead by Millhouse. So with the advantage of fresh legs, fresh arms, he's going to take this shot, and he is going to nail it from 3. Nobody around, a little bit of a deep 3, and that was a fantastic shot. Millhouse already breaking into double-digit points here on the evening in Trinity University.
As opposed to 14 for the University of Chicago, but each squad has made 4. So just great efficiency from the outside for Trinity that time. Petrowski rising up from the mid-range, knocking one home, and then forcing a turnover right there and coming back the other way.
3-pointers attempted during that game. It was a wild show from there. But so far they've been very, very efficient with their shots as Christian Green gets the nice little finger roll finish. And now it's back to a 5-on-5. Ball outside at the moment. Pass it around, down low in the corner, takes the shot, it is good! Joe Barry, the one who finally gets it in for Chicago.
And kind of cruise to victories. One thing that we've talked about in those games, though, is how can the team that's trailing, as University of Chicago is, even though they make another 3 right there, that time it's Kina on the wing knocking that one home.
5, 4, 3 on the shot clock, 2, 1, takes it from the corner, and it is good. A huge shot for the University of Chicago. Looks like it was
times in that first half, and have already seen once out of the University of Chicago as Harvey puts that one up and knocks it home. Perfect from 3 continues for this Trinity squad. Now 5 for 5 from the outside.
Travel not going to get one here. Going up, cannot get it to fall. Gets his own rebound, puts it up, and puts it back in. Bryce Hopkins, the graduate student out of Palatine, Illinois.
And we're used to seeing at this level, not blowing by anybody. Now he has 4 turnovers, and Trinity continuing to absolutely blister from beyond the arc. Not really any issues, it looks like.
Green spins, puts it back up, and puts it in, using some of that fantastic quick twitch ability that he has. To the round, trying to find some holes in this Trinity defense where there aren't a lot. Ball goes to Brown. Brown, ball is a little bit too far for him. Able to get it back up and get it back in for the score. Tanner Brown gets his 11th point of the evening so far. Lawrence back over to Barry. Barry with the 3, cannot get it to go. A little bit short off the iron. Fight for the rebound. And thrown back in there. That was Moose, but it's taken in by Trinity. Over to Green. Green puts it up and puts it in. And now Christian Green has his 11th point on the evening as well. The ball here back down to Christian Green. Braxton Barry with it at the moment. Barry spin move, puts it up and puts it back in for 2. 62-34 your score.
Talented teams here. 2 great athletic departments at the Division III level in the University of Chicago, and also Trinity as Hopkins riding the ship just a little bit right there, knocking down another shot from beyond the arc. Moves from 1 from 6 to 2 for 7.
Here and let the offense set itself up. Christian Green gonna drive, gonna put it up. What an incredible shot by Christian Green. I did not even think that he was gonna be able to get that ball up there, and instead he gets it up and in. Heavily defended by Jacob Harvey. Pass outside, shot up from the top. It is good. A big 3 by Jackson Piotrowski. And was a Trinity University basketball coach from 1956 all the way until 1965. So it is a fantastic 3 shot there by Joe Barry. He mentioned during our talk with him earlier this week is as that's a great play there by Ty Williams, putting it back up and in.
But there's a takeaway from Zach Finn. Had another steal to his season tally as Hurd gets the transition opportunity and knocks it down. He throws his hands in the air as well, finally getting one to drop for him.
Unless Chicago is able to pull off one of the greatest comebacks that we've ever seen, as they get a great little play there by Luke Smith, the 6'9" freshman out of Richmond, Virginia. And of course, these Trinity players, as this one is up and in. Great play there by Ty Williams. Was able to get that one, as now this shot goes up and it rolls on in for Philip Lawrence, the freshman out of New York, New York.
Right there, operating on the inside. Smith with the kick out to Kana, who knocks down that 3 here. It was the SCAC championship game right here in CalGuard Gym last season.
A few little depth substitutions in. Don't get to call a lot of these names too often as this shot is up from outside. It does fall there for the University of Chicago. 80-58 your score here with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Defense there, I believe it was Alexander Batiste, the one who was able to force that one out. As this shot goes up and this shot goes in, Alexander Batiste able to get the big three from the corner. And at the moment, Thompson passes it over to Ruck. Back down to Thompson, and Thompson is going to get it up and in for his first points of the day. So, again, a very good opportunity to get a look at some new faces that we do not get to call out very often. This game is over, and for the final time in 2023, the Trinity Tigers take a commanding 82-63 victory over the University of Chicago here in CalGuard.